listening to KUAW, or the truth be told. Oh, I'm not on the screen. You can't see me. Oh, hold on, y'all. Let's get this fixed so y'all can see me. Oh. Oh, change my shit to see? Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. Oh, I got my background. Where's the camera? Oh, there you go. Okay, I got a cheese background. That's cool. Oh, this mic don't work. Oh, oh, okay. There we go. Oh, okay, I got a different background today. That's cool. That's cool because it's like Black Music History Month or something like that. So it's cool. We cool with the records and stuff in the background. Let me see if I can center myself. Now I'm probably gonna be looking sideways the whole time just because I don't know which. I'm used to looking into a different camera. Uh, but okay, so you're listening to The Truth Be Told with myself, T Baby, and this is KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom, Kansas City's global community radio station. If you have an event or a business that you would like sponsored here on KUAW, definitely shoot us an email at KUAW dot or at KUAW985 at gmail.com. And I'm sorry. And if you would like to call in and comment anytime during this show, give me a call at 816-599-6893. And they can call in at any time during this live broadcast. And we are available 24/7 on the World Wide Web. That's www.kuaw.org. If you're watching me live on Facebook, hey. And if you're listening to me over the air and you would like to watch me live on Facebook, make sure to jump over to our Facebook page and like it. It's KUAW LPFM 98.5 on Facebook. So make sure that you like and share the page with your friends and family so that they can all be in tune with the shows that we have here on KUAW. We are also available 24/7 across all major social media platforms, Instagram, TuneIn, YouTube, Twitter, just KUAW. Make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube page as well. Our videos do go live from YouTube. If you know someone that may like to listen in and they don't have Facebook, you can direct them to the YouTube page. So make sure that you like and subscribe to the YouTube page as well. And you can go back and watch like previous shows and things like that on the YouTube. Okay, so we're going to jump right into it. We know there's a lot of things that's been going on in the United States. Not really going to get into all the protesting and everything that's still going on, but as long as you guys just, keep fighting. It's really sad lately that a couple of people have been found hung. They held up the bill to make lynching a federal hate crime or something like that, which I don't know why in 2020 that ain't been done. Like, how can you hang someone from a tree, and then they've been marking these deaths of hanging from a tree as suicides. So we definitely got to know that we got to get and keep working and keep pushing for legislation to clear out the police station, to clean up the police station, to defund the police station. And a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people have, and let me make sure you guys comment and let me know what it is that you think as well. Can you put this on Facebook too? I'm sorry. Yeah, so we have to make sure that, what I was saying, a lot of people, it seems like a lot of people have been thinking that defund the police meant getting rid of the police officers altogether, or what I'm saying, something like that or whatever. But really what defunding the police means is that they don't have as much funding to fund all this riot gear that they have. I don't know why the police have tanks and trucks and things like that. They don't really need those type of things to do their job. They also have all this riot gear, all this extra funding and money that they spend money on that they really don't need, and they keep saying, a lot of people say don't defund them, just reorganize it to give them proper training. Well, they don't need training not to kill Europeans. I mean, that same training that you use not to kill a European, use that same training not to kill us. Like, you don't need no different training. You don't need no newer training. You don't need none of that. You don't have a problem when it comes to killing a European. So therefore, you shouldn't have a problem when it comes to killing our people. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's a bunch of BS. I really don't agree with that. Like, no, they don't need all that money. We need to learn how to, just like, for instance, the thing that happened in Atlanta with the brother that was in the drive-thru. Okay. Now, instead of Wendy's calling the police on him, you know, they could have defunding the police means calling a tow truck to move his car out of your drive-through that's blocking traffic and preventing customer flow and things like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what defunding the police means. It means not using the police on these instances. They had a counterfeit money. You know what I'm saying? The thing where George Floyd was killed. And I don't even understand how that even happened, because you got the little pen that you could just write on it. Hey, Banks. Hey, Banks. You got the little pen that you can just write and check the money. You can hold the money up to the light to see if the money is real. So it's like, how do you even call the police over some counterfeit money that you thought was counterfeit money? That's the problem that blew me. Is you saying you thought it was counterfeit money, but it really wasn't counterfeit money. So I am in agreement with defunding the police. I don't feel like that means griping after the police or anything like that, but the police system, this whole little branch of whatever it is, it needs to be revamped. It needs to be raked out. It needs to be cleaned up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to have some different procedures that go into place when it comes to being a police officer. You know, we have to have different procedures of being able to keep track of the unemployment of these police officers. You know, that's why I was really in a real agreement with the Kansas City sheriff that's over here, because he said that we need a statewide registry. It's like, if these police officers get if they get fired from another station or another precinct for you know, excessive violence or whatever the charges may be, you know, murder, manslaughter, like, you know what I'm saying, and all these excessive force and all these type of things like that, if they get fired because of those things, they shouldn't be able to just move 30 minutes down the road and be able to go work in another precinct. Like, no, we need to have and then another, I keep seeing this meme, and I think I shared it. I'm going to try to find it real quick because I want to read it to y'all, just because it was so true. It's like, we basically just saying for the police to stop, you know what I'm saying, stop killing us and treat us, you know what I'm saying, treat us fairly. Now, I don't even want to mess it up because it made so much sense. I was like, what is going on? Like, why is everyone doing that? When I read it to you, you're going to understand. So it's like, us, our nation of people, we just like, hey, could the police just treat us better? You know what I'm saying? Can we just get justice? Can we just get treated fairly? It's ABC, Black Bachelor, Starbucks. They got black baristas, Black Lives Matter t-shirts. Netflix, they got a whole category for Black Lives Matter shows and TV shows. Hulu, they got a whole RL session. Band-Aid then came out with a whole Band-Aid line. You know what I'm saying? For melanated people. TV, you know, TV stations like, oh, cops, we gonna cancel that. Cancel cops. No more of this. You know what I'm saying? Cities, they painting roads. Black Lives Matter. They just did it here in Kansas City on the plaza. Okay? They got the little Black Lives Matter down the street. They did it in Washington, D.C. They did it in Minneapolis. Everywhere. They painting stuff on the floor. Right, Martin Luther King Boulevard on the plaza. Then you got CEOs. Okay, yeah, take Juneteenth off. On us. We give you a paid holiday. Nike, like, you know what I'm saying, Juneteenth a paid holiday. And we like, yeah, okay, but the police, though. Like, what about the police? The police are the problem. All that sound good, but what about the police? Like, are y'all not gonna do anything about the police? Like, then, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, they just wait and they doing all these things they're doing. And you guys, you know, let me know what you think. They're doing all these things. Hey, Dion. They're doing all these things, you know what I'm saying, trying to distract us, that we let up off the gas of what it is that we really need and what we really want, and that is police reform on all levels. You know what I'm saying? On state levels, on federal levels, the prison system, all these things. You know what I'm saying? We looking at these sentences of people comparing people to other statuses. Let me just say that. I'm gonna say what it is. Comparing them to other status. Our status of black, because that's what we've been fighting, is Black Lives Matter and things like that, which that's a whole nother subject. I'm not gonna get into that with y'all every week, but you know what I'm saying? It's easier to just go along with the flow, but that's part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? But I can understand starting there and addressing that problem first, so that we can eventually gain stepping stones to figuring it out on a bigger scale, and that's to know who you really are. You know what I'm saying? And to not claim these statuses and things like that or whatever. But anyway, we looking at all these different sentences that's happening in the justice system and things like that. Those things need to be changed. The judges need to be changed out. The ages of these senators and representatives and all these things, all these older generation European men that have these mentalities. It's like you get to a certain age. You know what I'm saying? Because they say, oh, all Europeans are not bad. And nobody is saying all Europeans are bad. That's just like saying, that's just like, you know what? That's just like an all lives matter statement. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like all police are not bad. We're not saying that all the police are bad, but you have bad police, and then you have good police officers that are just watching the bad police officers commit the bad stuff. So at the end of the day, are they good police officers? Because if they was a real good police officer, they will put the officer that they see committing a crime against another human being, they will put him under arrest, because they are here to protect and serve the people. You know what I'm saying? So they will make arrests on that officer if they were really good officers. So we really don't want to stick too much on that. You know what I'm saying? Little subject anyway, and keep hanging up on that statement, which makes them bad. Exactly, it makes them bad. You know what I'm saying? Because they're still not upholding. They're not upholding their oath. They're not upholding what it is that they're supposed to do. That's just like when President Trump them talking about they're gonna call in the military and everything like that. How are you gonna call in the military on American soil when they take an oath to protect this land? Like to protect this land and people. How can you deploy? But y'all know Obama did that. Obama signed that executive order. I remember. See a lot of executive orders that the presidents, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to turn this into a political thing or anything like that, because I just think the president is a puppet. I feel like they use whatever they need to use to get across the agenda of the masses or whatever. They wanted to start a divide. And see, we got to understand, if you ever research the New World Order, okay, there's certain things that have to happen. There's certain things that have to take place for them to implement certain things. If they want to do a one world religion, a one world digital currency, things like that, things have to fall apart for them to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So they want these type of things to start happening. They want you to come in here and tear up your own country and all this other kind of stuff so you can put your country in debt, and now they got to go look outside somewhere else for some money or some gold or whatever to fix it, and jobs and pay you and all this other kind of stuff, easier to get you into the one world currency type thing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And we fall right into the traps. We fall right into the plays. It's like right now the thing in Tulsa, Oklahoma, okay? So we got all this stuff going in about Juneteenth, and I'm gonna go in on Juneteenth in a minute. We're gonna talk about that because I'm very it really excites my spirit, I guess you could say. I'm very excited about how many people are really looking into Juneteenth this year. So there's always some good that comes out of the chaos. You know what I'm saying? There's always some good. You got to be able to look at the good in everything. You know what I'm saying? Even things that you feel are are terrible. You ain't gonna get through this. How I'm gonna get over it? This and that. Like, you can always find some type of good in every situation if you look for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a little key for y'all. That's just a little gem for y'all. Y'all to remember, if you ever find yourself just looking at a situation like, why me, switch your mind frame and just look at it. What is it for me to learn in this? You know what I'm saying? What good can I find out of this? What can I find in this that makes me feel good about the situation, no matter how messed up the situation may look on the surface? But anyway, so I'm really proud of like all our people like really getting into Juneteenth and everything like that. But we really do got to discuss and get into what Juneteenth actually is and what it represents. So we really gonna do this, but I want to close this out. But okay, so the Tulsa, Oklahoma thing. Okay, so Trump's first rally is opening up or whatever, and it's gonna be in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it's gonna be on Juneteenth. Now you see a lot of people making these statuses, like, oh, we need to, charge that, mess that up, like that's not gonna happen. Protest that, this, and that. You know what I'm saying? And y'all comment and let me know what it is that y'all think. I definitely appreciate y'all conversation because it's a conversation and not a lecture and not just a talk show. So y'all gotta comment and talk back to me. But so he's doing this, and a lot of people say that it's very disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Tulsa, Oklahoma is the site of the Wall Street bombing. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. It's just and it's on Juneteenth. A lot of people right now feel a certain type of way about Trump. And I agree with Trump sometimes that it's like not with him on what he thinks or whatever, but he says the media paints a picture of him when you think about CNN, Fox News, and all this other kind of stuff. They paint a picture of him to make they play on our emotions to, make him racist and all this other kind of stuff in our minds and things he says and things like that or whatever. But anyway, the president's a puppet. But yeah, so he's doing this rally and everything like that, and they say it's not a coincidence, but they do these things hoping that we will play into what it is that they want us to do. You know what I'm saying? So in their mind, it's like, yeah, we're gonna do this because they want you to protest, they want you to come out and riot. You know what I'm saying? So they can deploy the National Guard. You got Trump. You gonna have the president in the city too? Oh yeah, so they can National Guard. They gonna have snipers everywhere. Like they want you to fall right into that. But see, we would be doing them a different injustice if we just didn't give it any attention. We have to learn that the things that we give our attention to and the things that we focus on, the things that we give our energy to, we have to better protect these things. You know what I'm saying? We have to better control these things. We have to control these things at a greater quantity than we are now. We cannot let outside sources play on these things and play on our frequencies and things like that. And really is if you do that, if you let someone else control your frequency, if they could just play you like a puppet and do you like this, you up, you down, you up, you down, like anytime way they want you to feel some type of way, they can just know what to say to you and all this other kind of stuff, and you actually give them this type of control over you, you give up your power, you give up your God in you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the God in you. It's like all these woke people around talking around right now talking about some they are God and this and that. I ask people all the time, it's like, what do you mean by that? Islam, Brother Johnson. It's like, what do you mean by that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what makes you a God? What is it? It's more than just the title of just calling yourself a God. You know what I'm saying? You have to know how to be in control. God created, know what your ideal of God is, no matter what you call him. You know what I'm saying? God is just a title that everyone gives to the higher power. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if what your God is, it's like he created the whole universe. Okay, you learned in science that the world is part of a solar system, that's part of a galaxy, that's part of a universe. Okay, and these things are light years, thousands and light years, miles apart. You know what I'm saying? So this is so big that your mind cannot even fathom how big this is. You know what I'm saying? And who you consider God created this, and that's inside of you. You know what I'm saying? So that means that for you to create this little reality that you in here for, you should never be able to allow someone to play with you like a puppet, the way that the media plays with us like a puppet, our people, the way that social media plays with our brains and things like that. But that's due to ignorance of not knowing these things. Okay, so we have to be able to better protect those things. So don't do exactly what you think. Sometimes people say, see, that's what you want me to do, so that's exactly what I'm not gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Or that's the reaction you tried to get out of me. So that's going to be you're going to get the very opposite of what it is that you think that you were trying to manipulate out of me. We have to be smarter. You know what I'm saying? That's just like playing chess. That's the whole goal of playing chess. Your opponent is trying to get you to make the move they want you to make so that they can capture your king. They try to manipulate the whole game. So just like life is just like a game of chess. You cannot let someone manipulate you into the square that they want you to stand in so that they can attack you. You cannot do that. You have to be able to strategize and make your own decisions to make sure that the end game of what you're trying to get accomplished is what's going to get accomplished. So with the whole little Trump and Tesla thing or whatever, we just got to stop giving that energy and don't let that take away from the day. Go out and find a festival. Go out and support a black-owned business. Go out and, you know what I'm saying, and just join with your people. A lot of towns, a lot of cities have they have these like festivals and parks and stuff. I know Kansas City normally has one. I think it's going to be one down on 18th and Vine this year. I know the one that we normally have at Parade Park, I think that is going to be virtual or something this year. So we just have to see how all that goes. But again, just get involved in something like that. Don't use your energy and don't give the time and space of what the day actually is and what the day is in celebration of to actually let that be distracted by Trump. Okay, and so that's my thing on that. So Juneteenth, real quick. Okay, so for a lot of people that I'm sure they probably know right now, by now, but Juneteenth, you know, the Declaration of Independence was July 4th, 1776, right? Now, let's say why. Let's first of all, a lot of people will say, you know, well, you know, T baby, you're a Moorish American. How can you not celebrate July 4th? You know what I'm saying? It's the day that America got their, you know what I'm saying? America got their independence. You know what I'm saying? You are Moorish American. Like, you should celebrate the independence. You know, you should celebrate Independence Day. Well, 1776, when America got their freedom from the British, whatever. So that is what illegally allowed them to mentally and physically, because we were still or we were supposed to be free, I guess, but we wasn't really free, but mentally start the enslavement process, because prior till 1776, you got to understand, when if you look at American literature prior to 1786, they addressed our people as who they were, as Moors. That's how you get Othello, you get an African king, a Moorish king, like all these Beethoven, like all these musical pieces and everything, all those things was prior to 1776, okay? So in 1776, when they became free from Britain, they were allowed to turn you into property. And so then they labeled you Negro, color, black, Ethiopian, like all these names. That's when they were allowed, that's when they were free to give you these type of names in 1776. Those are when those names were put upon our people. Prior to 1776, they did not address us that way, you know? So that's when they started to wipe away. That's when they started to wipe away our history, wipe away our language, wipe away our culture. They actually started that in 1492, but this is when they could legally and change it on paper. They could kill us off on paper. They could kill off of indigenous Americans, and they started calling them Indians, and then they started changing it to where now the Indians started getting lighter and lighter and lighter. So now when you look at a Native American, they look more like a European than they do you. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that they were allowed to do in 1776, was due to the Declaration of Independence. So no, do not celebrate the Independence Day, because it was not an Independence Day for our people. It was actually more of a trap than it's actually worse than what it is, and kind of how we are still mentally enslaved today. It was actually kind of the worst things that could happen for our people was for these robbers and these thieves and these all these little people who Christopher Columbus and his homeboys and Thomas Jefferson, all these people were to Europe. You know what I'm saying? Why they got kicked out in the first place. So for them to be able to gain control or call themselves the founding fathers of what you have now is the United States of America. Okay. So yeah, 1776. So that's why, you know, Juneteenth is like, and it's like, yeah, we definitely were not free. You know what I'm saying? And then you think about it, 1776, the lines of communications that they have. I believe, if I was not mistaken, I should have looked it up. If somebody in the comments know, just let me know or whatever, when the first telephone was invented. I don't think it was really prior to 1776, but I could be wrong, and I want to be correct. You know what I'm saying? So I believe they were doing everything by what they call telegraphs by then, sending telegraphs or mail carriers, pigeons. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? But apparently the pigeons that were supposed to tell the people in the South that the slavery had ended did never make it. Okay. And so 1886, yeah, so June 19th, 1886, 1865. I keep saying 86. I'm tripping. 1865. I'm sorry. So June 19th, 1865. That is when the word reached to the furthest south that you could go of slavery, that they were actually free, because these slave owners were basically from 1776 to 1865, almost 100 years. Really? You're about 10 years short of 100. So 90. Yeah, yeah, slavery was before the United States, but I'm saying when they were supposed to be free. You know what I'm saying? In 1776. So from the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Now listen to those years that we're hearing here. This is generations of people here. Okay, you know how many people are born in a family in 90 years? Like, come on now. These is generations of families that were still being held as slaves when they were free. They were supposed to be free. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that's why we celebrate, because that's when our people, when the actual physical change of slavery was actually broken. You know what I'm saying? The last physical chain of slavery was actually broken June 19th of 1865. And so that's why they say this is our Independence Day. And, this is what we should celebrate. And it is an occasion, an event that should be commemorated, because it was really unfair to those people, to those generations of people that were still down there just working for free, being beat, being chased down, like, just the conditions of slavery that they were in, and legally they were free. You know what I'm saying? Just to not know it, but they had conditioned us to not know it. They ain't teach you to read. You couldn't listen. You listen to the radio. You know what they're talking about. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, they had conditioned generation to generation, conditioned to be able to get out of these to be able to keep us in this mental slavery. And it's still some of the stuff that we find ourselves in today. It is definitely still the conditions that we find ourselves in today. I know I was at a little barbecue this previous weekend, and we were talking about this status of black, and what it means in the Constitution, and what it means legally, and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So we were talking about that, and so I just wanted to take a poll, because it was probably about 10-15 adults in, you know what I'm saying, in this room. And so I just said, how many of you guys in here has read the Constitution? You know what I'm saying? And out of my listeners right now, that's listening, if you have read the Constitution as an adult, not a Constitution that was taught to you in 5th grade, you don't remember that. I'm talking about for yourself, actually picked up a copy of the Constitution and actually read the Constitution. Just put a 100 or a me or something in the comments if you've actually taken the time to read the Constitution. You know what I'm saying? Nobody in that room could say that they had read the Constitution. They told me, oh, I was taught it in school. And then if you weaken down now, we talking about public schools reopening and things like that or whatever, and we talking about it now. They don't even teach that in school anymore. They don't even teach that in school anymore. So it's like, and how important, how can you live in a land and say that you follow the law of the land, which is what the Constitution is, and you don't know what it says? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you defend yourself? How can you know your rights? How can you know your privileges if you don't know what it says? If you don't know what those rights are, if you don't know what those privileges are, how can you even claim that that's what it is that you're claiming to, or fighting for, or protesting for, or whatever, if you don't even know what it is? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're just saying, give us something. I like this shirt. I keep seeing this shirt. It says matter is the bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? Matter is the bare minimum of what it is that we need, what it is that we're entitled to. It's not even that we're need, it's what it is that we are entitled to. Matter is the bare minimum of that. You know what I'm saying? But we have to know that. We have to know that we're the one protesting out here just for the bare minimum treatment. Do you go in your job and hope for minimum wage? Is that what you go? You don't. And when you're in your search for employment and everything that you find yourself, what you work in life, are you going in there saying, "Oh, I hope they pay me minimum wage"? Like, no, that's not what it is. You're not going in there hoping for the minimum. So why are we settling for the minimum when it comes to our lives? Why are we settling for the minimum when it comes to our children's lives? Our nieces, our nephews, our husbands, our brothers, our uncles. Why are we settling for the minimum? Why are we sitting up here fighting and protesting and tearing up stuff and burning down stuff for the minimum? No, you have to know what it is. You have to know what it is that you're fighting for. You have to know what it is that you're entitled to. You need to know those rights and those privileges of what it is that you're out there asking for. You need to know where it is that where you stand right now, and where is it that you're trying to go in the eyes of the law. I gotta take a break. I be talking too much. Y'all wouldn't even believe that I come in here not even knowing what I want to talk about, right? But I'm gonna try to make sure y'all comment, you know what I'm saying? Let me know about, Constitution or whatever. We're gonna take a quick break. And bear with me. Alrighty, and I am back. So I appreciate you guys bearing with us, letting us get some commercials and our sponsorships out the way. Again, if you have a business or an event that you would like sponsored here on KUAW, send us an email at kuaw985@gmail.com. We do check our email, so yeah, if you got a business or an event going on, let us know. We are Kansas City's global community radio station, so we want to make sure that we are here for you. I don't think I said this at the beginning of the show, but so I want to make sure I say it now. We are a listener-sponsored station, so if you wanted to make a love donation to KUAW, you are able to do that at all avenues of our social media. So via this Facebook page, via our website, we got a PayPal, everything you can think of. So when you think about us, we definitely appreciate it, so we can keep continuing to provide great content here on KUAW. Hi, Michelle. So glad you could tune in this week. I appreciate all the listeners here on their thing. I'm not gonna keep talking too much into this, because y'all know I could talk about nationality and who we are and all that other kind of stuff. I could talk about that for hours. I kind of probably didn't beat y'all up with that for about the last 3, 4, 5 weeks that all this stuff has been going on. So I'm not gonna keep continuing to that. I do want to move on into, because I try to get into like different kind of segments and stuff that we can do in this show. So I wanted to do this show, and I wanted to do this segment where we, y'all know I used to do it all the time, where I had kind of like a relationship topic or kind of something themed towards like family building, creating families, things like that or whatever. So what I had seen that I had want to talk about on Facebook this last couple of weeks, and let me see, I know I saved it because I had to save it because the comments and stuff was so wild. So it says, and so this is for men and women that are listening on this on now. I want you to comment, get ready, and let me know what it is, what you think, and you know what I'm saying. So it says, a man is romantically involved with two women. He tells woman number one, I love you, and it's only you. He tells woman number two, I love you, but there's someone else. So then he says, which woman does he love more? Okay. Which woman do he love more? Neither. You had a lot of people. Now this status, let me tell y'all, this status probably got about this only got 14 comments. So a lot of people says he loves number one more. See, what really blew me, y'all, was that there were a lot of women responding on this post. I'm froze. But there's a lot of women that responded on this post that said that he loved woman number one more because he lied to her. And it made me think about the mind conditioning of our women, of the women out here, just the, you know what I'm saying, the programming, the sub programming that we have been into via TV, via religion, you know what I'm saying, like all kind of things. Because you look in religion, it tells you that because Eve was disobedient, you suffer from menstruals and childbirth and all this other kind of things, like it's a punishment, you know what I'm saying. They say you were born into sin, all these kind of things or whatever. When you look at in the world, you're not paid the same. You're not treated the same. You have to fight for your rights. You have to fight for the right to vote and all this other kind of stuff, like you're something other than a human, right? And so now we get into this. They groom women to be homemakers and have children, and I'm glad I can join. Also, I love your shows and topics. Okay. They groom women to be homemakers and children, and are just have children. You have to fight for our right to work. We had, what I'm saying, all these type of things or whatever that we just have to fight just for these rights for, right? And so then now it's like, women, we even think about like growing up, it's like women are taught to grow up to be good homemakers, cook, clean, satisfy your, have a husband, start a family, this and that. We kind of dip into how men are taught or groomed, and it's very opposite of what women are, taught to grow up, which that I never understood that at all either. But what I'm saying, that's just what happens. So now it's like women are being groomed to deal with disrespect in relationships as a sign of love. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even really that it's a sign of love. It's more so this is what you have to go through to build the bond that you're supposed to have to get a husband, for someone to, want to marry you, or what I'm saying, things like that. It's just saying, it's like, if just even how these women are on their statuses saying that he loves the woman that he lied to more, shows you that the condition, because to lie to someone is disrespectful, point blank, period. I'm gonna tell you one thing about me, baby, because I definitely wouldn't be that woman. I'm definitely not on the side of the one that he lied to, he loves more. They get that from baby boy, you know what I'm saying. He said, I lie to you because I love you. I tell all these other girls the truth because I don't care about their feelings. So it's like, I care about you, but so I love you, but so I try to hide the truth for you. I try to manipulate your reality and thinking that my lie is the truth, instead of just telling you the truth to allow you to deal with and decide if you just want to deal with the reality of whatever the situation is. For some reason, you feel that it is more caring to lie to me, or to disrespect, or to play with my intelligence. That's what I think it is, because you know what, they used to have this saying, and I love it because, you know what I'm saying, I live by it, and it is a saying, and it says, a liar is worse than a thief. You know what I'm saying? Because a thief takes something material, something that you can replace, something that can be easily replaced. But a liar manipulates your reality. He takes away time. He takes away a time of where you were in this illusion world of whatever you were thinking that this lie was truth. You know what I'm saying? And so you can never get that time back. You can never get the instance of what that is. We don't have time loops. We don't have time machines. So you can never get that time back. So this liar has just stolen your reality, and in essence has stolen time away from out of your mind, out of your life or whatever, just to play or manipulate with whatever it is that they wanted you to think was true at that moment. A liar is worse than a thief. You know what I'm saying? It says that a liar is and then it's another thing of it is it's like with me it's a dealing with trust as well. It's like you don't trust or think that I can handle to make a decision. You're not even giving me the opportunity. See, I think then it comes into the point where you're hindering my freedom of choice, because you're not even giving me the opportunity to make the intelligent decision based off of facts of the situation to see how the outcome of it would be. You know what I'm saying? You're taking that away from me. You know what I'm saying? You're not allowing that to happen. And we is thinking that says the more that you go through or put up with or hold on to, you know what I'm saying, and a man, it makes the bond stronger, or it makes the relationship stronger. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that, you know, we are conditioned to think as women when it comes to building and forming relationships. Okay. And it was just really sad. You know what I'm saying? It was really sad. And then, you know, it's like you had some men that said neither. They said he doesn't love either of them, neither of them, just because I guess maybe he was dealing with both. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. And I wouldn't even say that, because I am a woman that could see, not saying that I would be in, not saying that I am in, not saying that I'm open to, but I am a woman that can see the possibilities of and the assets and the and how people can be in polygamous relationships. I am also a woman that understands the male species and understands that you know, like prior back into I don't know what it was, probably Christianity, maybe European influence, I don't know. But they had the idea, you know, when you think about kings had concubines. You always hear about the stories of kings and concubines. You know what I'm saying? And even in most of the little Disney movies and things that we watch that was out of those things or whatever, you see the king and most of the time he has a baby by one of the maids or whatever, one of the concubines or whatever. But those are what actually took place. Like sometimes the queen would pick out the concubines. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. So I'm well studied into this, so I can't understand the polygamous thinking, and to think that it could actually, someone could actually, it's not absurd to have someone if that's what everyone agrees on. But see, the thing about what most men that talk about polygamous relationships, what they don't understand is there's no secrecy in it. You know what I'm saying? Everything is up front, everything is on the table, like everything is truth. Like the woman chooses to be in that situation, she decides that if she wants to be in that situation or not. She is not just put into that situation without, you know, the freedom of choice. So there's a lot of deception amongst men today where they couldn't really probably handle or even know how to get into a polygamous relationship, because I feel like lying is caring about somebody for some reason. And and the crazy thing about it was more men on the post that said neither than it was women. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and you were asking the question, and that gives you just an example of the disconnect in thinking between men and women. You know, and it's like how we just really think so much of the other I don't want to call it species because we're the same species, just of the other gender, let's just say that, of the other gender, of, you know, how just it's like that men are from Mars, women are from Venus type thing or whatever. It's like the minds and just things like how we think of each other when we're really probably more alike than we than we really think we are. It's probably our own thinking that causes us to be so separated, because we've been taught that we were so different, and you know what I'm saying. So we grow up with those thoughts and everything like that. We play into those thoughts, you know what I'm saying, with everything like that. But that's neither here nor there. But it's just, it was crazy to see how many women accepted the fact that a form of disrespect, because lying is disrespectful. That's what we were just talking about, period. Lying is disrespectful. So for you to say, oh, he lied to her so he loves her more because he wanted to protect her feelings, it's like, if anything, I would say he loved woman number 2 more, just because he told her the truth. He respected her enough, he loved her enough to tell her the truth, that where she would be left to make whatever decision that she could make at, at that time. Because it's like, okay, are you seeing someone else? Was this someone that you want to continue seeing? Is this something that just happened? Like, it's a conversation that can be had now at this point, as in woman number 1 is going to be more hurt when the truth comes out, because the truth is going to come out at some point in time. And that's another thing that people don't realize about lies. Like, at some point in time, you have to be one heck of an actor to keep up a lie for, I don't know, for a lifetime, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't know how long. That should be a Guinness World Book record, the longest lie ever withheld, because you got to understand, people forget their lies. When you tell a lie, you got to tell another lie on top of the lie to keep that lie straight. Then you got to tell another lie on top of that lie, tell another lie, and eventually you're going to start forgetting that the lies that you told, because it's easier to remember the truth than it is to remember a lie. So you go, unless you one of those what do they call them? What is it? Habitual. Yeah, unless you one of those habitual liars. See, habitual liars lie so much that they believe their own lies. Like, they will argue with you that they lie is true. No, and even if you know it's a lie, because in their mind, they didn't told themselves that it's the truth. So to them, it's truth. You know what I'm saying? So unless you're dealing with a habitual liar, most liars can't really keep up the lies that they tell, because they gonna get caught up, or they gonna twist something up. Like, it's some lies gonna be, you know what I'm saying, twisted up in there. So it is really, the truth is always going to come out. So when woman number 1 finds out the actual truth, she's going to be more hurt, and it's probably not going to be more hurt that there was another woman on the side the whole time. She's probably going to be more hurt that you lied to her. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we get back to all the time, because I tell people all the time, it's like, sometimes it's not even the action that I'm mad about. Like, yeah, I would have been mad about that, could have got over that, you know what I'm saying? But now the fact that you lied about it makes it even worse, because then I'm like, what is it about me that you felt that you needed to try to manipulate me? I just feel all messed up. You like, no, you trying to manipulate me into thinking some other stuff that's not true and all this other kind of stuff. I just don't see that as love. I feel like love is an action. When you love someone, you don't disrespect them. When you love someone, you respect their decision, you respect their freedom, you respect, you know what I'm saying, you just respect the morals of who it is of who they are. You don't try to control that, you don't try to manipulate that person, like, you don't try to do those things. Like, so I could never get with the ideal that he loves, woman number 1 more, just and strictly off the simple fact that he lied to her. Like, no, that's just not okay. And we got to make sure that we are not spreading that narrative. We can't, we really can't, especially like women with daughters. We have to be not we, because I don't have a daughter, but women with daughters, you have to be more sensitive and genuine. I guess that's the words that I'm looking for, with the actions and the things that you do and the things that you're allowing to be done to you, because those are the type of things that they look up to, and that's how they build, their self-esteem. That's how they build their playbook, you know what I'm saying, of life. You know what I'm saying, off of your example, by what's allowed to them in their environment and things like that. So we cannot be under these obsession that's just because someone lies to you that they love you more. That's just like a domestic violence victim. Well, they say he hits me because he loves me. He doesn't want to see me do anything wrong, like this and that. Like, just how you feel when you hear some stuff like that, you like, oh, she crazy than a mug. That's the same thing I hear when you say he loves her more because he lied to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing. That's the same thing. Like, that's just crazy. That's just like crazy thinking for you to even consider that that would be the level of what you consider of basing your love off of how many things that you can say. Well, and I'm gonna say bring you down because it's negative energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's how many negative things that someone does to you somehow measures their love for you, or how many things that you allow someone to do to you tests the strength of your relationship. Now, don't get me wrong. I speak all the time that I don't think that we should be, microwave people. I don't feel like that we should have microwave relationships. I don't feel like that we should just run at the sight of, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is. There are certain things that are unacceptable. There are certain things that you can work out. You know what I'm saying? But those things are personally like that's a personal list. You know what I'm saying? Only that person who knows their limit or knows what it is, their breaking point, I guess, or you know what I'm saying, knows what it is. And so, but I don't feel like that. I feel like you should still be able to measure your breaking point or get to your breaking point being told the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like we have to start understanding the different morals, because it really comes down to living a moral life. Like, it's like if you have morals for yourself and you respect and you expect a return of these morals in the people around you, and you see someone out that steps outside of these morals, or if you have what it is to you, like I live up to 5, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like they're the 5 highest principles to man, and that's love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I know that the things that I do, the way that I act, the things that I say, somehow fits in and does not go against these 5 morals, that I know that I'm keeping with my actions and my thoughts and my words and everything, my deeds, in the bounds of righteousness, And so, but that's how I look at myself. I really think that's how all humans, I think that's how all people should live, but we're not really taught this. We got to do better at teaching children growing up thinking about morals and stuff like that, because it's like now it's like they probably know more so of what not to do, because a lot of things teaches what not to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, the 10 commandments is a whole 10 commandments of what not to do. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not, I don't know them. I ain't even gonna front like I know them. I don't know. I know one of them is thou shalt not steal. I do know that. Okay. But, you know what I'm saying? But those type of things, like, instead of teaching us what it is that, programming of what it is that you should be doing, let's see. In order for a relationship to grow stronger after mistakes are made, is if both people do the work and make sure those aren't repeated. And that's definitely true. You have to be able to communicate and be able to work things together. That's what I was going into when I was saying I'm not trying to say that we should be microwave people or whatever, because you should give people the benefit of the doubt to work things out. But if you notice that they're not trying to work on it, they don't feel like they should need to work on it or things like that, then you realize at some point you're gonna have your own breaking point with that in that type of scenario or whatever. But you should at least give that opportunity, or have the opportunity there for that to present itself before you make your decision, depending on what it was that transgressed, or that is that the word I'm thinking of, transgress, that happened. You know what I'm saying? Transgress. You committed a transgression against me. So yeah. So yeah. So I know they told me that my vocabulary was extending. I know. I think that's what happens when you in, like, radio and stuff and things like that or whatever. I feel like you tend to expand your vocabulary and things like that. But and I'm not doing it trying to impress nobody or nothing. But it's just like those. It's a couple of prophets that I study and look into. And, one of those prophets is Confucius. And Confucius says, the beginning of wisdom and to call things by their proper name. So I try to use proper as proper as English it could be. So anyway, real quick, I gotta get out of here. I appreciate you guys rocking with me, listening to me, commenting with me, liking, sharing, and all those good things. Real quick, ye are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy father, that peace and happiness may dwell in our father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that bonded you to love and unity. Prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brothers in adversity, assist him. If thy sisters in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy father continue to support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all, and your love to each other. Peace.